Hello guys. Normally we will start in about 5 minutes so that we can wait for the others to join us. Once they join, we will go live. Thank you.
Okay, this is like a bad camera.
Once again, this is a reminder. So normally we will start in few uh, minutes. We are still waiting for the others to join us, all the delegates, so that we can start our live Q&A. Thank you. So we are still waiting for the delegates to join us. Once we reach the needed number to start, we will go live. Thank you for your patience. So waiting for the delegates, still waiting for the delegates. Once they join, we will go live. Thank you. This is the last reminder. In 5 minutes exactly, we will start the broadcast. This live Q&A will be composed of the first step is going to be about an intro to the Algeria Model United Nations Conference concept. Then an overview about how the delegate should cope with the different rules of procedures and the code of conduct during the conference. What are the different steps that will be that each delegate needs to go through in order to be well prepared for the conference, how things should be done. Everything will be covered during this Q&A. Once done, we will pass directly to the questions to entertaining all the delegates' questions, whether from our Facebook group dedicated only to our delegates, or from the questions asked on our Facebook page. Thank you again, and we can't wait to start this live Q&A in 3 minutes exactly. So, hello all delegates. It is my pleasure to facilitate this live Q&A in its first session for all our delegates during this Algeria Model United Nations second edition 2015. So, as we have already told you, this live Q&A tends to help you understand more the Algeria MUN concept, the conference, how it's going to be. We do know that all of you have many questions, and the Secretariat was discussing the possibility of having this live Q&A, and alhamdulillah, successfully, we are organizing this live Q&A. So again, the live Q&A will be composed of an intro to the Algeria Model UN, then we'll go to the overall description of the conference and so on. Then once done, we will start answering to all your questions. The communication team will be compiling all your questions in a list, and we will be answering to all the questions once we finish with the two first steps. So the first question is, what is Algeria Model UN? Algeria Model UN is a program that helps the students, the youth in general, to understand more about the international relations, the diplomacy, and all the worldwide topics. Also, the participation at the Algeria Model UN, it goes beyond learning the international relations and diplomacy. It tends basically to develop your skills in communication, which means you will get skills in interpersonal communication. You will be able also to debate, and also you will communicate efficiently, which means that you will understand others' opinions, and then you will react based on that. You will think before you talk, and also you will gain some skills in writing, such as all the delegates, they have to write position papers, and also during the conference there is the draft resolution that they should work on it, and so on. So globally, there is the Model UN concept, which means in worldwide, there are many universities and clubs and companies around the globe. They do this Model UN. So Model UN, Model United Nations, is the simulation of the United Nations work, which means we bring students in the UN. They bring ambassadors, country representatives, presidents of government. In MUN, we bring students and we give them the chance to cope the role of the ambassador and the role of the president of government. And generally, we have different committees in which each committee, they have different topics that they will debate on it. So first, how it goes, that in order to launch a conference, we do delegates registration. So during this delegate registration, we receive all the applications, we review them, and then we start pre-selecting. Then normally abroad, they go through first the payment, then they will proceed with the selection, the final selection. But for us, for Algeria Model UN, we didn't want to happen like this. We started by the reviewing all the applications, then pre-selecting. Then once the pre-selected candidate confirmed his or her participation, then his status will move to confirmed. Once confirmed, we will proceed with the normal procedures, such as giving them trainings and so on, and then the payment will come later on during the conference. So for this year edition, the theme of our conference is investing in our Algerian youth. Last year edition, it was about the first edition was about together for Algerian youth empowerment. معا من أجل تمكين الشباب الجزائري. The delegates who participated in the first edition, thankfully we are still keeping contact with them. Most of them, they are participating in international conferences abroad, and some of them, what they have learned during the first edition, it helped them not only in their professional career but also in their studies, because debating the Algeria Model UN was a unique chance for them to express themselves and also to gain more in terms of communication and debate. So as I said, the theme for this year edition is about investing in our Algerian youth. The conference will last for 4 days, but the first day is going from the 27th to the 13th of December. It will be in Algiers. The venue will be announced at the right moment. So stay tuned on our Facebook page. So the first day, the morning will be dedicated for the arrival of delegates, those who want to come and register and pay their fees, etc. And then normally the first day will start at exactly 2 p.m. And starting from 2 p.m. We will have the physical training, which means the secretariat, the dais, everyone will meet during the conference, with the delegates, of course, and then we will deliver another training about the rules of procedures, which we call it the ROPs, MUN ROPs, the rules of procedures, and we'll give you the chance to witness a live mock conference, okay, which means a small simulation of what your committee should look like, what the debate should look like, which means you are not going to start your committee session unless I personally, as the Secretary General, will make sure that everyone understands what is going on during the, what will be during the committees. So this is for the first day. The second day, the morning will be for the opening ceremony, in which we'll be receiving the delegates, we'll be receiving our VIP guests and senior representatives. And then once the opening ceremony is done, we shall move to the committee sessions. Each committee, they will go to their room and they will start debating. The second day, they will continue the debating. And the third day morning, the fourth day morning, you will continue the debating and you vote on your draft resolution successfully, inshallah. And then in the evening, we will be having the closing ceremony, in which we will be delivering the certificates and also giving the best delegate award to each committee, in which everyone needs to strive for this award. Because it is a prestigious award in any kind of Model UN conferences. So this is an overview about the agenda. Now we shall go through the procedure. So as I said, once we pre-select the candidate, they need to confirm their participation. Once their confirmation is confirmed, each delegate needs to prepare his or her position paper. So this is the very first step. We have sent you emails with the committee background guides and also examples on how. Also, we have sent you a guide to how to write a position paper and also examples to how a position paper should look like. So what is this position paper? You have been assigned to a certain committee. You have been assigned to a certain committee, and you have been assigned to a certain committee, and you have been assigned to a certain country. So what you have to do is that you have to first start doing your research about how this country is reacting to this topic at the UN level. You do your research, because research is what matters most in order to have a very good consolidated position paper. Once you finish your research, then you are ready to start writing your position paper. The position paper is composed of two parts. The first part is about getting to know your country, which means, for instance, you have been assigned to Tunisia or Algeria or any other country. So you will be describing this country in the first paragraph, where it is located and some key information, so that we can know the value and the importance of this country within the international sphere, within the international community. Once you finish with the introduction, the background, and the intro to your country, then you shall move directly to what is the position of your country, assigned country, to the topic being discussed. So, for instance, if we are speaking at the Security Council and we are discussing the situation in Yemen, so what is the position of Tunisia towards this issue, to this topic? Then the other countries, they shall do the same, and so on. So it should be brief. Then you will send your position papers to your dais, to your chair or your director, and they will review it. And if there is lack of information, or you are not following the frame of the position paper, they will email it to you again with all the clarifications, the guidance, and they will follow up with you. And also we, as the secretarial level, will be keeping a keen eye on each delegate progress so that we can know everyone is engaged and well committed to his or her task. So once you finish with the position paper honestly are for the when you are at your very first time at the Algeria Model UN, you will think it is very difficult, it is hard, etc., etc. But no, because position paper, it should not exceed maximum 2 pages. That's the top max. The very good position paper, it should be nailed in 1 page. In 1 page. The policy of the writing, it should be 12, and the type of writing, it should be Times New Roman. So as I said, once you write your position paper, your dice will review it, and they do have more experience, and they know if you are understanding the position of your country towards the topic, because as they are the dice, they have an overview on each country within their committee, with each opinion or each reaction of each country to the topic that is being discussed at their committee. So this is in order to make sure you guys are understanding what is the position paper and how it should be written, and who is going to review your position paper. So once you finish your position paper, within your Facebook groups, we will be exchanging some articles, and also we will be interacting with you, so that in order to prepare you more for the conference. So once you are at the conference level, you will be preparing. You will be keeping first. You will keep the archiving all the resources that you use for your research. So whenever you have an article, make sure to save that article, because you will need to use it during the committee debate, especially if someone have another information which is in contradiction with what you are saying. So during that moment, you will know the procedure. Also, the venue will be everyone will have access to the internet, to the Wi-Fi. So normally, unless there is another changes, then we will let you know ahead. So once you arrive, as I said, once you arrive to the conference, the first day morning, which is the 27th, we will be receiving the delegates in order to pay their fees and take their badges, etc. Then we will meet in the evening. In the evening, we will start the training session, and then the second day morning we'll be receiving we'll be receiving our VIP guests and senior representatives during the opening ceremony, and then we shall start our committee session, and you guys will have you will start living your IMUN journey. So this is Algeria Model UN in general. You don't have to be scary. You don't have to fear that it is too much complicated, etc. No, even the rules of procedures, we will send it to you so that you can have a general idea about it. And also, we gave you access to all the guides. And once we finish this live Q&A, we will send you the access to the Algeria Model UN resources on our website and our portal, so that you can have all the needed guides in general. So what we are going to do now is that we are going to do a simulation about how a debate should look like. here I do have with me representatives from each committee dais. We do have Umayma, we do have Sarah, we do have Shada, and we do have also Amin from the United Nations Security Council. It's worth mentioning that this year we are entertaining for the very first time a special committee that is speaking in Arabic, and everything will be in Arabic. Their position paper, ورقة الموقف, it will be in Arabic. The debates will be in Arabic, and so on. Why this committee? This committee is a way to strengthen the value and the importance of our language, Arabic language, as our native language, as our mother language, and we strengthen the youth involvement with this language, because we notice that most of us, the Algerian youth, we are more engaged in events, youth events and gatherings, either in French or in English. So we at the Algeria Model UN secretarial level been working on this initiative, and successfully we have achieved it with the help of the Diocese of Algerian Affairs Committee. So, as I said, now we are going to move to the rules of procedures, how it should be done, and so on. So, I will take you briefly. You will just need to follow us, and then I will explain each step. So, Dias, are you ready? You
Yes.
can. Thank you, Sarah. You can unmute your mics, guys. Umayma, Shada, Amin.
Yes, you're here.
Excellent. Amin? Amin? Okay.
Yes. Yes. Hello, everyone.
Hello. Thanks, Amin. Umayma, are you here? Umayma? Okay, no problem. So, Dias, if you do you have anything to say before we start the simulation?
Well, if I can say something in Arabic, may I?
نعم بالتأكيد تفضلي.
شكرا. بالنسبة للجنة الشؤون الجزائرية هذه السنة، بما أنها ستقام إن شاء الله باللغة العربية في أول مرة مبادرة جديدة من نموذج محاكاة الأمم المتحدة بالجزائر، فأود فقط أن أشير إلى المندوبين عندنا في اللجنة إلى أن يتاحوا إلى أنه سيكون هناك كل الإمكانيات إن شاء الله لمساعدتهم ومتابعتهم خطوة بخطوة إلى غاية أن يلتحقوا معنا بالمؤتمر إن شاء الله. فهي فعلا تجربة جديدة لنا ولكم، وبإذن الله يعني نعدكم بأنها ستكون الأفضل وسنكون معكم خطوة بخطوة فيها، فلا داعي يعني للهول عليها ولا ذلك. فقط كل تمنياتي بالتوفيق إن شاء الله، وشكرا.
شكرا شدا، شكرا جزيلا. Amin, do you have anything to share?
Thank you very much indeed, esteemed Dias and honored Secretariat. I'm very pleased and honored to serve as the Dias of the United Nations Security Council this year. And one thing I can promise to my dear delegates, that this edition will be memorable and unforgettable. So you can approach us at any time. We are always here to help you. You can send us messages through Facebook, through our emails. We'll do our best to help you out. Writing a perfect position paper at first, and then having a memorable experience at the MUN conference. Thank you very much, and nice to meet you all.
Thanks, Amin. شكرا جزيلا. Thank you. Sarah, do you have anything to share?
Thank you, Honorable Secretary General, and my dear Dias team. Well, first, I'd like to welcome all the new delegates for this new edition, and I'd like to wish them the best of luck. Second, I'd like to say also that we, Dias team, we are here to guide them and help them. So Do not hesitate. If you have any question, just send us email and even on Facebook message. We are here to help you, so do not hesitate and do not be shy. And that's pretty much it.
Thank you so much. Anything to share?
Oh, okay, I want to talk.
Yeah, if you have anything to share with your delegates before we start the simulation.
Okay, I wanna say that I'm so proud of the DISEC delegates. They are so enthusiastic, and I am excited to work with them. I hope they will do their research right, and I'm here to help them in case they need anything. Me and Yasmin are totally okay with answering all your questions, no matter how silly they seem. We all been through this, so please ask us your questions and don't feel embarrassed or anything, because we are here to help you. Thank you.
Thank you, Umayma. Thank you. Thanks a lot. So now we are going to proceed with the community simulation. We are going to simulate the ECOSOC, and we will be debating on the youth role in the let's say in the Sustainable Development Goals, the SDGs. Okay. So do you have any preference to a certain country? You may choose. Otherwise, I will assign it directly to you. Okay, so Umayma, you will be representing Tunisia. Sarah, you will be representing France. Shada, you will be representing USA. Amin, you will be representing Algeria. Noted. Excellent. So now we shall call all the delegates into order. Please, all the delegates please be in order, or could please the house come into order once everyone takes his or her seat. Now we shall proceed with the roll call. Tunisia.
Present and voting.
France.
Present and voting.
USA.
Present and voting.
UK. Algeria.
Present and voting.
Excellent. Thank you a lot. Now the quorum is met, and now we shall move to the committee agenda. The dais would like to remind the respective house that today's topic on our agenda is about the youth role in the SDGs, in the Sustainable Development Goal. So are there any points or motions on the floor?
A motion to start the speaking list.
Thank you, respective delegate of Tunisia. This motion is in order. Now we shall open the speakers list. Those who wants to be added to the speakers list, please just raise your placard and keep it high. USA, of course. Who else?
France.
Algeria.
Okay, so we do have USA, we do have France, we do have Algeria, and Tunisia. Excellent. USA, now you do have the floor, but before, is it in order to start the speaking list without setting the speaking time?
No, we need a motion.
Motion.
Thank you, respective house. Is there any point or motion on the floor?
A motion. Motion to set the timing speak to 30 seconds.
Thank you, respective delegate of USA. Are there any seconds?
Second.
This motion is being seconded, so the speakers list will be open for 30 minutes for each speaker. USA, now you do have the floor.
Thank you, Honorable Chair, Honorable Delegates. The delegation of USA is proud to join you today in this discussion about the role of youth in the SDGs, and believes that it's about time to actually handle the flame or handle the goal to the youth in order to have real impact in their future. This future is not ours. The future is for the youth. That's why we're calling all the youth worldwide to join and have a real say on the SDGs of their planet. Thank you, Honorable Chair.
Could please the respective delegate of USA
I yield the floor to the chair.
thank you, respective delegate of USA. We said after USA, the respective delegate of France. Now you do have the floor.
Thank you, Honorable Chair, fellow delegates. We are here united today to discuss our topic, which is the Sustainable Development Goals. The delegation of France thinks that each goal includes numerous targets. Giving them more depth, there are also indicators to evaluate each target. While the goals and targets are nearly final, there is still space for civil society to influence the indicator. That's why the delegation of France strongly believes that discussing this topic today is really important, and that youth has really a voice and has really something to do about this topic. The delegation of France yield back the floor to the chair.
Thank you, respective delegate of France. The respective delegate of Algeria. Now you do have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. The President. Honored delegate, esteemed dais. The delegation of Algeria is proud to participate in this committee, and we would like to show our interest in building a new pillars for the new generation and to get them more involved in the peace process and the development. So we see the youth as of paramount importance, and we would like them to be involved more and to
Could
be
please the
engaged.
respective delegate of Algeria come to the closing remark?
Thank you, Mr. the President. Uh, Last but not least, Algeria would like to express its grave concern about the role of the youth within the society, and as they represent more than 75%. Thank you very much, Mr. the President. I yield the floor back to the chair.
Thank you, respective delegate of Algeria. Now the respective delegate based on the speakers list. Now the respective delegate of Tunisia. You do have the floor for 30 seconds.
Thank you, honorable chair, dear Dias. The delegation of Tunisia believes highly in the role of engaging the youth in the sustainable developments. After all, what we have witnessed in these few years, that the youth have changed what Tunisia has been for many years. They have been able to create a new policy, to create a new chapter in the Tunisian world. So our new plan, our new vision is to give the youth the power to change the country to a better place, and we hope that all countries within the UN will help us achieve this, will help us engage the youth in the future developments. I yield my time back to the floor.
Thank you, respective delegate of Tunisia. Are there any questions or comments to respective delegate of Tunisia? Seeing none, we shall continue with the committee debate. Now we shall, once we finished with the speakers list, now we shall move to the formal debate. Are there any points or motions on the floor?
Motion.
Yes, respective delegate of France.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Motion to open a moderated caucus for 15 minutes.
Thank you, respective delegate of France. This motion is in order. Are there any seconds?
Second.
This motion is a second. Now we are officially in a moderated caucus for 15 minutes. So now, in order to skip the to skip quickly, so what's going to be next is that each delegate needs to debate on this topic by raising their placard. The placard is the paper where the name of your country is written. So what you need to do is that to raise that placard and keep it high until you are recognized. So once they finish on debating on the moderate caucus, the time collapses, then the chair will say again, are there any motions or points on the floor?
Motion.
Yes, respective delegate of Tunisia.
A motion to start an unmoderated caucus for 10 minutes.
Thank you, respective delegate of Tunisia. So in order to clarify for the public what is why we need the unmoderated caucus. So once we finish the formal debate, we shall move to the unmoderated caucus, which is about an informal debate, which means it is they will debate where the chair is not going to be part of it. Each one is free to move from a place to another and also ask questions to the others and try to find the countries who share the common point, the common interest within the position of his or her country. So once the unmoderated caucus time is collapsed, we shall move to another procedure. So, respective house, are there any points or motions on the floor?
Motion.
Yes, respective delegate.
A motion to present the working paper in front of the dais.
Thank you, respective delegate of USA. This motion is in order. Are there any seconds?
Second.
Second.
This motion clearly passes. Now, what is supposed to happen is that the House, they shall present a working paper to the dais in order to review it. The dais is composed of your chair and director. So once we finish reviewing and projecting, what should be next? So the respective House, are there any points or motions on the floor?
Motion.
Yes, respective delegate.
Motion to vote on the.
Thank you, respective delegate of France. This motion is in order. Are there any points or motions on the floor?
A motion to vote. A motion to vote by alphabetical order.
Thank you, respective delegate of USA. This motion is in order. Are there any seconds?
Second.
Second.
This motion clearly passes. Now we are officially in a voting procedure. No one is allowed to leave or enter the room. The clerk shall please, the respective clerk, could you please seal the room? Seal the room, which means need to close the room. So once that we finish, now we are officially in the voting procedure on the draft resolution on the topic of youth role in the SDGs, the Sustainable Development Goals. And it was proposed a motion to vote based on alphabetic order. The respective delegate of Algeria. The dais would like to remind the House they shall either vote for this resolution or against.
The Republic of Algeria votes for this resolution.
Thank you, respective delegate of Algeria. The respective delegate of France.
The delegation of France votes for this resolution.
Thank you, respective delegate of France. Tunisia.
The delegation of Tunisia votes for this resolution.
Thank you, respective delegate of Tunisia. The respective delegation of USA.
The delegation of United States of America votes against this draft.
Thank you, respective delegate of USA. Seeing the fact that 3 delegation they voted for this resolution and 1 respective delegation voted for against this resolution. This resolution obtained 3 out of 4. This resolution clearly passes. Claps are in order. Excellent. So, in order to clarify for the public, what went is a it is the typical discussion, debate within a committee. So we start by a roll call where we put the name of each delegation present. Each country present, we shall put their name. So we shall call each delegate and see who is present and who is missing. So you heard at the beginning that there were two types of showing the presence of a certain country, either by saying yes or no. Sorry, either by saying present or present and voting. So if you say present, which means during the voting, you can abstain from voting. But if you say present and voting, which means you are going either to vote for this resolution or against this resolution. You don't have the right to abstain. So once we finish with the roll call, we shall move to the moderated caucus, which is the formal debate in which we debate on the topic in a formal way, based on it is based on a very structured flow of debate. Once we finish with the moderated caucus, we shall move to the unmoderated caucus, in which we debate and informally, which means you are going to move, you are free to say whatever you want to a certain delegation, because the dais won't have a hand during the discussion. So once you finish with the unmoderated caucus, you shall be ready to move to present a draft resolution in which you are going to debate on it as well. If you are for it, then you can move directly to the voting procedure. So once you finish, then you finish, and congratulations. This is the general way of debating the rules of procedure. So in order to move from a step to another step, for instance, from a roll call to moderated caucus, you shall present either motion or point. So the motion, okay, let me start by a point. Points are relevant to your personal status, which means, for instance, you raise point of personal privilege. If, for instance, if you want to leave the room for any kind of, whether you want to go to the restroom, or you want to leave the room in order to have fresh air or something, you are not going to tell the dais, I need to leave the room in order to have a fresh air. No, you are going to raise your placard and you propose a point of personal privilege, and the chair will recognize this point and you will be dismissed, which means you can leave the room. So there are different points, and we will send it to you so that you can understand what each point serve for. And there is the motions. The motions are more related to the committee and to the debate. For instance, if you want to move from a step to a step, you are going to raise a motion to move to a moderated caucus, a motion to set the speaking time, a motion to move to the voting procedure, a motion, and so on and so on. Okay, motions are in Arabic talabat. Points in Arabic are niqat. So there is what we call point of order. In Arabic, it is nuqtat nidam, which means if the chair is not going based on the usual procedure, so a delegate may rise if you guys review and revise very well the rules of procedure. You can challenge the dais and you will raise your placard and you say point of order, and the chair will say yes, and then you will say, is it in order to move from a moderated caucus to unmoderated caucus without raising a motion? You see, so it is very hectic. If you know the procedure, we do have everything ready for you. You just have to review what was mentioned in the guides, and you will understand everything. So this is in general how a typical session should look like, how typical committee session debate should look like. Okay, so this is all for now. We hope that by now you have a general idea about Algeria model United Nations. Now we shall be ready to answer to your questions. Please, as a reminder for all our delegates, if you have a question, please share it on. Please share it in our Facebook group for dedicated for only our delegates, and for the public. Please, if you have any question, please post it on our Facebook page, and we'll make sure to answer to all your questions as much as we can. Thank you. So we shall be ready to receive the first question. So let us review what we have received so far. Okay. So let us start with our delegates. Okay. Sarah, could you please mute your mic, please?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay. Okay, so the first question is, what do we mean by CPG, and what is it for? So CPG is the abbreviation of Committee Background Guide, in which each dice they prepare sort of a guide to their that will be presented to their delegates. So in this guide you will have key terms, key role players, key information, key strategies about in generally about the topic that will be discussed. So for instance, if you go for this, the CPG of the Security Council, you will have the key players in the situation the situation in Yemen, and this CPG tends to help the delegates to understand more about the topic that is going to be debated at the committee level. So this is, we hope that we answer to this question. The next question is about, I saw in a video that if a director didn't like your speech, he will just stop you of talking. Is it right? No, it isn't. The dais, they are there, that whether the director or the chair, they are there to guide and help you and make sure that the flow of debate is going efficiently. No one is allowed to, you will have 30, for instance, if you have set the timing for 1 minute, then you will have 1 minute. If you have set the timing, the speaking time for 10 minutes, then you will have 10 minutes. At the moment that you have been recognized in order to speak, then you will speak for 10 minutes or 1 minute or 30 seconds. It depends on the timing that you have set. I need to highlight that the fact that I personally, as the Secretary General, make sure that all our dais, they act in a professional way, and they are all here, as they have stated, to support and help you. Some of them, they were well, actually most of them, they were Algeria Model UN 2015 2014 participants, and they understand how it is important to make sure every delegate is engaged to the discussion. Now we shall move to the next question. Is the needed material, cameras, microphones, and so on, going to be provided for the press corps at the conference? So normally we are trying, but For the moment, speaking about the logistic, unfortunately no, but we are trying to make sure that our press conference, at least if not, they will have the needed logistic materials. But in order to remind you, the press corp there is composed of journalists. Also, the press corp is an initiative from the secretarial level. So the press corp is composed of 10 journalists, Algeria Model UN journalists. They are managed by our respective Her Excellency, the Deputy Secretary General, Ms. Garwish Amina. So the journalists, they are more about writing articles and also having testimonials from each delegate so that we can compile all their testimonials and the articles and the contributions that will be shared on our daily newsletter that will be provided during the conference, as we have already done this last year. So the next question is it against the rules of procedure to prepare draft resolution beforehand? Yes, of course, it is. And make sure that all your dice, they will understand if you are already prepared for the draft resolution or not. We are not saying that you should not be prepared, but we are saying that you should not prepare a draft resolution beforehand to the conference debate. Why? Because sometimes you will come with a certain opinion and you will stick to this to that a certain opinion, and you will even that you can debate in an efficient way during the committee session, but you will stick with the opinion of your draft resolution that you have already prepared before the conference, and it will create a certain problem to the debate. Okay, the next question is the position paper. What is its main role, and are we going to present during the conference or not? Only help us to have a background information about the country we are representing. Okay, so the position paper is mainly for you. We, as the dais, as the secretariat, actually we just need to review it in order to understand if you are really understanding the position of your country towards the topic. If there are some mistakes or something, we will correct it. That's it, because we do have general overview about the topic and each committee that was each country that was assigned to each committee. So the position paper, no, you are not going to read it during the conference. It is for you, and it will help you the debate. It will be your backbone to all the different discussions. So, for instance, if you will present the opening speech of your country, you can actually take it from your position paper. You can take some information. So the position paper will be all the time there in order to help you, not to penalize you. Okay, and no, you are not going to read it during the conference. So the next question is, I would like really to know, are there any concrete results you have noticed them in real life after the first edition of IMUN? So we make sure to keep continuous contact with most, if not all, our previous delegates in order to get their updates and know what they have been up to. So some of them, they were, since their participation in our conference, Algeria MUN United Nations, in its first edition, they started to be more involved in the community services, in extracurricular activities, which means volunteering work, in order to bring a positive impact to their local level. They also, most of them, they also got skills in communication, and that was noticed during their presentation of thesis. By the end of the year, scholar year, which was May this year, May, some of them, they were very at ease in speaking in front of public. So most of them, they were shy, and then for instance, imagine if you are still shy and then you are going to present your thesis, for instance, your year preparation or your memoir, etc. So imagine if you are still shy and then you are going to be a bit disturbed, and it might affect your mark. So most of those who participated in our conference, they were very at ease in speaking in front of public, and they became fearless to speaking in front of public. The next question is, and also to follow up on that question, there is contribution in our monthly newsletters, so that we get the contribution of our formal delegates. So the one who asked this question, you may refer to our website in order to check our newsletter and get updates from our what our delegates been up to. The next question is, what are the starting and ending times of the conference days? What is the place of the conference? Because we need to look for close hotels. What are we going to do each day? Okay. So what are the starting and ending times? Normally we start at 8. You should be at the conference venue, and then you will maximum it will end. This is the top maximum 5 p.m. The conference venue will be in Algiers. Unfortunately, I can't give more information about the venue until it is shared on our Facebook page on the right time. This is what happened also during the last year edition. We don't want to share the conference venue unless we do have it shared on the right time for certain procedures. So the next question is for the hotels. Also, our public relation team is preparing a list of hotels recommended, and we will send the list to all our delegates once they finish, so that you can have a general idea about the different hotels. So the next question is, also, what are we going to do each day? Of course, you will be debating and getting to network with the different delegates. This year edition, last year edition, it was we grouped 22. We grouped youth from 22 different wilayas. This year edition, we are grouping 31 wilayas, youth coming from different wilayas, from 31 wilayas. Okay, the next question is, I will pass an exam this week, so I will not have a lot of time to prepare my position paper. So many I have. Okay, position paper. I have plus of time, please. Okay, unfortunately, we are very limited with our schedule. We are already going beyond our schedule, and the schedule must be respected. So we would like to encourage you to please stick with the current deadline for receiving the position papers, which is the 9th of November. Thank you. The next question is, how will best delegate be selected? It will be selected in a very transparent way. We do have our tally sheet, so it is based on criteria. So the first criteria is the level of public speaking. Is this delegate is progressing in terms of his or her public speaking skills? The number of motions and points brought to the floor, and also, did the delegate participated in the elaboration or in the drafting the resolution, and also if the delegate was the main submitter or the co-submitter. So for each criteria we do have points, and the dais will make sure to fill the tally sheet. It is a database in which they will there is the name of each delegate, and then we do have the different criteria, and they will mark, and then by the end of the conference they will have the exact tabulation. And then based on the tabulation and the scores, then I as the Secretary General will be evaluating from time to time each committee, and then I will be trying to evaluate all the delegates so that we can have the best delegate. So yes, it's going to be in a transparent way, and you will notice that during the conference. The next question is, what are the criteria of a good journalist at Algeria Model UN conference? So what we value more at the Algeria Model UN, especially for the press corps, is we want to hear, we want to see, and we would like to concrete your initiatives. It is true that IMUN is being organized by youth, and as it was stated, it is organized for the youth. So IMUN is a space where you can unleash your creativity, and we are here to study the different initiatives and suggestions so that we can put it in place during the conference. So a good journalist should be very good at writing the articles, and also getting engaged in writing articles relevant to the topics that he was affiliated to. For instance, if you are a journalist affiliated to the DISEC committee, so you are highly recommended to write articles about the topic that the DISEC committee will debate on. So the article should be from 1 to 2. That's the maximum, because in each committee there are 2 journalists. So from each we are going to receive at least 2 articles from each committee, and in total we will have 10 articles per day. So the next question is okay. The next question is there are all the So this is the overall let's say answers to your questions. We would like, if you still have questions, please don't hesitate to contact, for our delegates, please don't hesitate to contact your DIEs. They are here to help you. Don't hesitate to ask them any kind of questions. If it is a question related to the organizational preparations, they will get into contact with the secretariat, and we will make sure to answer to your question. Of course, apart from announcing the venue. That's all. Thank you for your participation. Thank you for listening to our live Q&A. Make sure to use your group for interaction. Everything will be published there, and also we'll make sure to send you copies via your emails. Once again, thank you, and we look forward to welcome you in person during the conference. Before we end this live Q&A, respective DIEs, do you have any remarks to share or comments?
Thank you very much, Mr. the President. We would like to express our concern about the success of our delegates, and we would like to reiterate our position here to help them anytime they want. They can contact us every time they want. They can ask whatever questions, and we will make sure to help you live the best experience ever in your life. Thank you very much, and nice to meet you, and prepare well for the conference.
Thank you, Amin. Are there any other comments or let's say comments or remarks that the respective DIEs would like to share?
Yes, Arif. I wanted to ask you. I have a delegate in my committee that has an exam next week, so he won't be able to work well on his position paper. Can we extend?
Unfortunately, I have already answered to this question. Unfortunately, we have to, because if this respective delegate will go beyond the schedule, so he will be late, and then it will affect the norms of of your respective committee. So it will be very hectic for this respective delegate to do not follow the deadline. However, we might be flexible with adding at least let's say maximum 1 day or two beyond the deadline, but it should not be for everyone, because we do believe that as you already know, respective diets, that we have a timeline that we need to respect. So for you, even once you receive on the 9th, once you receive their position papers, you will review it, and it will take at least 4 days. And then if there are some modifications
Changes
that
to
should
be.
be, yes, changes that should be made by the delegates, so you will send them again an email, and this, it will take another 2 days, which means in total 1 week, and then you will start reviewing, etc. So it is a very hectic procedure, as you have already been updated. However, this respective delegate also, if the respective dice are okay with that, you can give him, sorry, 1 day or 2 days. That's the top maximum.
Okay, thank you, Arif. Thank you. So I want to talk to all my delegates in the DISAC committee. Please work on your research. Please read as much articles as you can. And if you have any kind of questions, please ask us. Me and Yasmin, we're always gonna be in the Facebook group, where you can contact us personally. Will be pleased to answer any kind of questions you have. So please start working on your papers. Do not procrastinate. Do not think it is a big work. It's just a small work. You start with working daily with small articles, small things you do every day, so you can finish it in the time. Please. Thank you.
Thank you, respective Umayma. Salim, do you have? Yes, sure, Sarah, you can have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. President. Well, I'd like to address the ECOSOC delegates concerning any question they may have. We and Her Excellency the Chair, Mrs. Mason Shatouf, we will make sure to organize at least one Google Hangout to another two rehearsal per week. So if you missed that Google Hangout, which is really important, you will have the chance to attend another Hangout with the two of us. So make sure to attend at least one Hangout per week in order to work on your position paper on everything concerning the rules of procedures. So that's pretty much.
Thank you so much, respective. Salim, do you have any comments to make?
Yes, Arif. Hello, delegates. I have a few things to ask from you. Please follow us on all our social media networks, Facebook, Twitter. You will find the links in the websites, especially YouTube, so you will have access to the training session by our USGDA, Mr. Sid Ali Al-Mohri, and please turn on the notifications on your groups, so you would be aware of the last things that happen in your committee. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Salim. Salim, he is from the communication team at the secretary level. He is in charge of our page and all the communication communication feeds that you guys are receiving. So before we end this live Q&A, we have received a late question, which is in Arabic. So the question is as follow. بخصوص لجنة الشؤون الجزائرية أوكي، اللغة والانتماء هل ستكون كلها باللغة العربية أو ستكون منقسمة بين اللغة العربية واللغة الإنجليزية؟ كما ذكر من قبل أن لجنة الشؤون الجزائرية ستتم باللغة العربية فقط. يعني ورقة البحث ورقة الموقف الدولة التي هي ستكون بالإنجليزية position paper ستكون بالعربية. المناقشة خلال اللجنة ستكون باللغة العربية. الإجراءات قواعد وإجراءات المناقشة خلال الجلسة ستكون باللغة العربية، كلها ستكون باللغة العربية. وهذا مبادرة من لجنة التنظيم لتعزيز العمل والنشاط الشبابي باللغة العربية، وهذا للرفع من المستوى اللغة العربية في كل الأنشطة، في كل أنشطة الشباب، خاصة الشباب الجزائري. هذا سيساعد على تعزيز قدراتنا على فهم والتكلم باللغة العربية، اللغة العربية الأصيلة إن شاء الله، وحفاظا منا عليها. شكرا جزيلا. Thank you a lot. And as I said, don't hesitate to ask or send us your question. We look forward, and I personally look forward to welcome you in person along with the Secretariat team and the DICE team. Once again, thank you and Assalamu alaikum.